All right. So sorry about that. Okay, so with that as an opening, and before we dive into the Q4 proper, I think the most important thing, I'm going to change things up a little bit, change the format a little bit. And the first thing I'm going to do is to introduce some new people to the team. All right, over here we got nice fresh faces. First up will be Tai Xiong from operations, and then Lai Ho from the UI UX team, and Claire in Malaysia for customer success. And we also have Sean, who is in business development. So I just like give them a little bit of airtime and I let them introduce themselves a little bit. So first up is Tai Xiong.
Hello guys, morning. Hope everybody have a good breakfast. So a little bit about me. So I'm actually from before I came to join you guys, I was from a cryptocurrency exchange. So basically, I was actually on that platform managing liaising with the technology teams in terms of building the platform itself. So I'm not sure whether you guys actually know about cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, Ethereum, this kind of asset itself. Actually, I was there helping out with the trading aspect. So if you guys are interested in cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, you can actually approach me. I'll be more than happy to talk to you guys more about Bitcoin. So actually the price actually is kind of rising. So if you guys want to get into Bitcoin itself and not skeptical about it, I think it's a good time to go in. So basically, I'm from fintech background. So I started off in the startup ecosystem. So I've been in startup like incubator, startup venture capital, as well as accelerator. So ever since I started off my working journey, I've always been in the startup world. So I've actually been working with quite a couple of startup throughout my stay in the working world. So basically, it's fintech, like financial payments itself. So I have a couple of good years working with startups. So I understand that working in startups is all about like there's no it's very different from like working in MNCs or in banks, whereby you know you will have like a 9 to 6 job. Then after that you roles and responsibility just within like or A B C D. You just have to do within that few jobs and responsibility and you are done. But actually, it's no. You have like in a startup, everybody's like you are not only doing what you are doing, you actually have to help out your other teammates, team spirit, team work kind of stuff. So there's no just bound within the certain rules for you. So you actually have to work beyond your roles or responsibility. So I always have this kind of mentality that in order for one person to grow, right, you also need to be able to actually work with other people, and as well as throughout this process of working with other people and helping one another, right, you'll be able to grow as well. And also being able to exercise the being empathy and understand like each other during the process, because I believe that because we are working very closely with one another, there's always bound to be like a little bit of friction here and there. But I believe that there's always a need to actually understand from one another the perspective to actually to work like bond closer and work in a better way. So it's a bit about me for my working experience. Then about like my maybe perhaps share you about my hobbies. I play darts. So not sure whether any of you guys actually love to play darts or actually have played darts before. You are always welcome to actually we can always go out and play darts together. So I actually enter competitions with a small team. So it's basically like the thing about that is that in Singapore, we play is like two bars and pubs. So I actually represent certain bars. We will be fighting against like another bars in Singapore. So there will be different kinds of levels in terms of darts. Like there are many different levels like S1 to S5 and different kind of leads itself. Yeah, so if you are interested in darts, you can actually talk to me more about it. Yeah, so that's a bit more about me.
Thanks a lot, Tai Xiong. I actually never knew there's this bar fight thing about darts. it's quite something, and I'm very sure down the road you expose us to that, and when the borders are open, go over to the Malaysia side and then expose them to how to play darts. Okay, so you are the guy to beat.
We'd love to.
So just to let you guys know, Tai Shong, he's our operations manager, and he also really just recently joined us. My experience of him has been really awesome. He someone that is very willing to learn, very hungry, driven, and my experience of him is always very willing to step forward, take up something, take on a new challenge, and I believe that, and he always does it with a smile. So that's something that I'm very impressed with, because a lot of times while I'm smiling now, most of the time don't experience me smiling. So very glad to have him on the team, and we're just very thankful that he able to fit in this particular role, which has been empty for nearly about a month plus. So thank you very much, Tai Xiong. So moving on to Lai Ho. So Lai Ho is our senior UI UX designer, but I will let him share a little bit more about himself. Over to you, Lai Ho.
Hello. Hi, can you guys hear me well?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, I'm Lai Ho. So I do a lot of design things. So I beautify everything. So I just joined Avocado full time back a month ago. So not really long. So I'm from Malaysia. So right now I'm working in Singapore. So I've just been in Singapore like for 1 year plus minus, not that long also. Yeah. So I'm originally from Ipoh, Malaysia. So previously I study and I work in Malaysia before I moved to Singapore. Yeah. So throughout my working experience, I've been to few industry. So agency, e-commerce, banking, and machine learning. So yeah, right now I'm glad to be in Avocado, working with a lot of talented people in the team. Then yeah, looking forward to work with you guys, every one of you. So a bit from myself, I used to bowl competitively in Malaysia, bowling. So right now I still bowl competitively in Singapore as well. I had a team here. Yeah, so I look forward to work with you guys.
Thanks a lot, Lai Ho. So it's really amazing, right? So we have one guy bowling competitively, we have another guy throw arrow, shoot dart at people professionally. It's through sessions like this that we get to know each other's sideline. But my experience of Lai Ho is he's a man of few words, but he is someone that is very clear-headed, and he's also someone that not just clear-headed, but also someone that very excellent in terms of things that he does. So for some of you guys begin to see some changes in our app with regards to the visuals, the pay function. If you like that, that's mainly Lai Ho, and while working on the pay function, he has his hands tied because of the very tight deadline, as well as other than the fact that the deadline is very tight, he also needs to focus specifically on the limitations of what the system can or cannot do, and he still nonetheless put his spin on the design component. And for that, you have the pay function. And interestingly, as we launched pay, we actually had very little complaints, and things work really well. And I'm really very excited about what is to come, because Lai Ho is someone that I've been looking for his role. I've been looking for a very long time, and while there are many different kinds of designer UI UX, there Liho is really very, very unique because if my intention is to build a world-class global company, and to do that, in the middle of it has to be product. And the reason why strong products take on traction and achieve tremendous success largely is because of user experience and user interface. Over the past weekend, I read an article about Singtel. Singtel is considered as an innovative company, but Singtel has many, many initiatives that has failed very badly, including Dash, Singtel Dash, largely overtaken by Grab Pay. Singtel also has this service called Hook. If you all know, most of people do not know, but Hook was deemed to be the Netflix killer. They have been just killed by Netflix about 6 months ago, and it is from this example, and there are many other initiatives, and from this example is clear to see that Singtel actually knew that, hey, you know, these trends are important to hop on, these trends are important to actually undertake, but they fail on all fronts for many things. And if you ask me specifically, I think largely has got to do with user experience and also user interface. And having Liho on board, I think it's going to be really exciting because Liho, I see that his potential to bring us to really meet to the greats of the world like Airbnb, Facebook, Instagram, and everything all mashed up together, including the Chinese apps like Taobao, Meituan, and Liho is the man for it. He's right smack in the middle of all this, absorbing all this UI UX trends and how things are moving specifically. And he has his own take about how UI UX is gonna be. Sorry, I shared too much about Isaac, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan. So pardon the fanboy, okay? Okay. Taichung, I need a bit of help on this because I cannot do the hosting and talking at the same time. So right now the thing is being the spotlight is on Liho, right? Taichung.
Yes. Yes.
You need to figure out how to turn off spotlight because whenever I hesitate and whatnot, it's because I'm trying to do the hosting, so I can't do the hosting and think you are now the co-host. So when someone is speaking, put the person on spotlight. When the person is no longer speaking, and when I'm speaking, turn off the spotlight. And I cannot figure out the technical thing at the same time while I'm speaking.
Okay.
So can you help me do that, please?
Okay, sure.
Thank you very much. So next up, we will have Claire from Malaysia. Over to you, Claire.
Hi, morning.
Hello.
Hi. I'm Claire. So I joined Advocado about 2 weeks ago as a customer success officer. So before this, I was working with StoreHub, which is a POS system company. I'm not very sure if you all have heard of this company before. Basically, what StoreHub does is it's a cloud-based POS system. Then what I did there was more or less the same as what I do in Advocado as well. I was working as a customer success officer, and then I onboard the new customer, and then of course also the renewal and stuff like that. So the reason why I joined Advocado was during the MCO time. The last MCO time when I was in StoreHub, and then I came across a lot of customers who asked me about how they can do their CRM program. Then actually at the point of time, I really had like not much idea on how they can like do this with their business. So I started to do some research about this, and then that's when I came across Advocado, and then I start to look around like what Advocado does, and then so I was really happy when I see there was an opening. Then that's when I apply for the job, and I'm really blessed that I get this opportunity to join the team. Also before I work in StoreHub, I also work in a couple of different industry. The reason why is because most probably is like when people ask me like, hey, what do you study, like, you know, in college and everything. So, and because they have this struggle to get a job in Malaysia after they graduate and everything, and then they don't like what they have studied and everything, because they feel like what they have studied is not what they like, and then but they cannot go to other industry because of what they've studied. But for me, because I started working right after my secondary school, and then I joined. My first job was like working in a retail store, and then I went over to. I was a bit. I was trying to like fulfill my childhood dream, and then I went over to Singapore, and I worked with Singapore Airlines. Then that is when I learned a lot, and I grew a lot from working overseas and also working alone overseas. Okay, yeah. So after that, I started to like venture, like, and then I come back to Malaysia and then venture into different industry, even like being as an interpreter. But then in the end, I still come back to the customer service industry lah, which is what my last job did as a customer success executive. So a little bit myself in my personal life. So what I usually do in my spare time is I enjoy going to rock climbing, and then I also play clarinet. I'm not sure if you guys know what clarinet is. It's actually a musical instrument, and then I just enjoy, like, you know, have time with my family and my pets, my dog and cats. Then yeah, I think that's all about me.
All right. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot, Claire.
No problem.
Yeah, I know what's a clarinet, and but so do you still play now?
Once in a while.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so interesting, because clarinet typically has to be played in like a band setting, right?
Yeah, actually, clarinet cannot be a like solo player. But the reason why I play clarinet is during my secondary school, I joined school band.
Yep.
Yeah. Then I was forced to choose clarinet because I can play. I can play clarinet. Yeah. Then since then, I slowly see what people don't see in clarinet. Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe you should make a YouTube video on this is how you solo on a clarinet. Maybe you become famous, leh.
It's hard lah, actually, clarinet. It's too flat to be a solo player.
Sure.
Yeah.
Understand. Well, I learned something about you today. That's interesting. Well, Mr. C, Joshua, and I, with in our younger days, we still do these days, music. Maybe not as much, but we do quite a bit of music. And Joshua he's quite the wordsmith. So always very impressed about how he can come up with the words and stuff like that. It's one of these days you actually get to hear what we've done in the past, so should be
Sure.
very interesting. Okay, cool. And welcome to the team, Claire. And I know that you started 2 weeks. Maybe things are just starting to ramp up for you. And we're very excited about what you have to contribute, especially after doing so many things and come back to customer success. I believe that in a certain sense, at least for a good season of your life, this is your calling. And we have a very special take about customer success or merchant success, and love to share that with you, love to bounce that off with you, love to learn from you, and should be a very exciting time.
Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have Mr. Sean from Singapore.
Hello. Hi. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Sean. I'm from the Singapore office, and right here at the Advocado office as well. Okay. Well, just to introduce myself, I'd like to share something very personal with all of you. When I was born at 1:30 a.m. On a Thursday evening, the moon was gold. Not just joking. Okay, let me carry on. All right. Okay, basically, my background is I started off, I did my studies in industrial electronics way back then in a school which was called Japan Singapore Technological Institute, where we had to learn Japanese, etc. And we had to follow the Japanese way. It was something interesting that Singapore was doing. And I had to be bonded for 3 years after I finished my national service, after doing that electronics course, of which I can't remember anything today. But after finishing my national service, I had an experience of working in a factory for 3 years as a technician, and it was very, very interesting. But I was bonded, and I wanted my calling. I knew all along was I was more interested in sales and marketing. You know, the line that I was interested in. So as soon as I finished my 3 years, I started going to sales. And one thing that was significant in my sales career, I come from quite because of my interest in sales and marketing, I have done a substantial amount of various forms of executing and learning sales and marketing. My first significant one was when, or the most exciting one was when I was joining a company called Royal Resorts way back then, and I was with that company for 10 years. It was a European international group that had multiple offices in many countries around the world. And when I started with them, they had 20 offices. By the time I left them, they had like 50 offices worldwide. And the first 2 years of it, I was in basically a salesperson, learning, you know, very, very, very interesting background, very interesting method they use and all that. But after that, the following 8 years was really fun for me. I was living and working in many different countries. Lived and worked in Jakarta, and then after that in Australia, Melbourne, Sydney, Gold Coast. Then after that, lived in an exotic place like Fiji. I think many of you may know Fiji, in the South Pacific, where they do the hula hula as well. And then from, just imagine, that's so nice. I was so happy about Jakarta, happening city, and then Australia, Melbourne, Sydney, fantastic city, Gold Coast, and Fiji, beautiful island, and you know, everything that you dream of. And then after that, from there, I was sent to Bangladesh, you know what I mean? And it was, yeah, and I was a single guy, so that was very tough, you know what I mean? Bangladesh, but it was very interesting because, you know, my mindset back then was, you know, I told myself I want to travel, I want to experience different places, and you know, the speed they work at, etc., and all that. So I was happy. I enjoyed myself. It was interesting, very interesting. And then from there it was very nice. From Bangladesh, I was in Sri Lanka. So I lived in Colombo. lived in an apartment facing the Indian Ocean. So my bedroom, every morning, literally, I wake up, I sit up on my bed, look out at the Indian Ocean. We would jump in the ocean once in a blue moon. You know, but fantastic. Like Sri Lanka, a beautiful place. Enjoyed it. And then from there, I remember the director telling me, say, okay, we're going to be sending you to Bali. And I was like, okay, okay. And suddenly last minute they say, oh no, we're going to be sending you to Phuket. And back then Phuket was, you know, it was popular. But I was worried about one thing. I was worried about the Thai boxes in Phuket. So when we went to Phuket, when I arrived in Phuket, that's where I was stunned by Thailand. You know, I never been to a more beautiful, wonderful, full of life place. You know, and it was fantastic living there. You know, I then went on to live in Phuket 2 more times. So I lived in Phuket about 3 times, know it quite well. And then after that, finally they sent me to Bangkok and lived in Bangkok. It was very fun. The company spent 10 years there, setting up and running sales operations. You know, at that stage, so I used to set up and run sales team of about 30 people, etc., and all that, and basically focus on closing. After that, the next significant place that I worked at from 2010 to 2015 was with a large real estate group in Singapore. I was part of their staff there, right? Although I had to sort of in a way take up the real estate license, which was good because now I have a real estate license. But there's a sound coming in, is it? Yeah. Okay, it's on my computer. Yeah. After that, in this company, I think some of you may have heard of it, Orange Tea. My exposure, my experience there, I was working with I was running a B2B department, and as well as running the Marcom for Orange Tea, and as well as I set up the data protection, the PDPA in Orange Tea. So the whole data protection, I was a DPO as well. So if any of you have any questions on the Personal Data Protection Act, I'm quite well versed, right? What happened after leaving Orange Tea? I was there with them for 5 years. I was doing more towards marketing consultancy. So I did do consultancy for a few companies, setting up and running some sales operations, etc., for them. And the most wonderful thing that happened this year was stumbling upon Jovel, who then invited me to join this beautiful company, Advocado. And from the moment I was interviewed by Jovel and I listened to the product and I watched how fast the system was, but more importantly, I watched how user-friendly and everything was so simple, but yet so relevant. And I was just amazed. In fact, I mentioned to Jovel and Eric, I said, what you all have created here is so, you know, the only word I can think of is beautiful. You know what I mean? It's really, it's something that as a salesperson in the company. Oh, by the way, for those of you who don't know, I'm business development in Advocado. So I'm a salesperson here, and as a salesperson, you know, there's I don't know about other salespeople, but for me, I'm the sort of person I need to believe in what I'm selling, and it has to, you know, it has to be something I believe in. It has to be something that is good for whoever I recommend it to, or let's say whoever I'm selling to. And this product, I couldn't be more happier with this product. It's a very, to me, a very, very good product. And I like the whole vibe, the whole environment here. So I'm glad to be here now. 3 weeks already in Advocado. I finished 3 weeks. So this is my 4th week. And one good thing I like to say was last Friday, my 3rd week, I broke my egg. So I managed to get my first sale. All right. So basically that's about. Oh, and one last thing. TX is the dart guy, and LIGO is the bowling guy, right? For me, I'm no champion, but I like I love pool. It was in a way a bad habit I picked up when I was single and used to be going to a lot of pubs, etc. And then I just love playing pool. So, and the other thing, of course, I like doing is watching movies. I just love movies. Yeah. So that's enough about me, and hand it back to Eric.
Thanks a lot, Sean. Yeah. So just now when you said that last Friday you broke the egg, I wanted to shout for joy, but I realized that I was on mute. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks.
Congratulations. It's that in your first 3 weeks you are able to have your first sale, and not just that, begin to build a pipeline to very intentionally over the next 4, 8, 12 weeks to consistently ramp up the close sales. And we are truly blessed to have you, someone of your caliber as well as your experience, to join our company. I really firmly believe, as I shared with you last Friday, that you're not here specifically to fulfill a specific role, but specifically that when you are here, you begin to build influence about what you say. The words that you say will carry weight, and you have newfound authority in the field of consumer engagement. So very, very blessed to have you on board. And there you have it, guys. These are our new faces. I'm sorry this took a little bit longer than usual, but I'm very happy, always very happy to let other people share than you guys hearing me. So let's jump back into the presentation. So these are the 4 new people to the team. We have Taixiong, Lai Ho, Claire, as well as Sean. And since we have new people, I want to take this opportunity to go and revisit our mission as well as the core values of our business. Some of you guys already know this, but for the new guys, maybe this is the first time you're hearing this, and I'm very happy to share with you about our mission. Our mission is really simple. Our mission is to make life awesome for merchants and their consumers. And every single thing that we do, whether it's technology, whether it's in operations, finance, sales, customer success, we are driven primarily by this mission, and that is truly to make life awesome for merchants and their consumers. And this English version actually is largely inspired by something that we had it in Chinese, that I always feel that it is more closer to the heart, and that is 让中小型企业家过好生活. And I believe that there's no comparative way to say it in English, but when we say something like this, truly is that I personally feel that right now in the industry, in the world, small, medium-sized enterprises are the most underserved people in the market, in the world. And they're being sandwiched by the platforms, by the big MNCs, and they're being sandwiched also by the consumers. They are right in the middle, and the most underserved, and they form nearly 90% of businesses in the world. And I just personally find that whatever we do as a company, as a technology, if we are able to just give them a very robust, as what Sean has said, beautiful, elegant software, and for a very affordable price, and they are able to use something as simple as a cloud software and really enhance their business, and able to connect with their customers, able to do more sales, able to have that additional fighting chance, then I think the work that we do is truly meaningful. We're not here just to focus on making more money, be more profitable. Yes, that is absolutely important. That is important simply because we are here truly to fulfill the mission, and that is to serve the merchants, to help them to have a fighting chance, to help them to have an edge over the competition, and not just other SMEs, but competition from the MNCs. And they not just survive, but similarly, they thrive and they have an amazing life. And that is something that drives me every single day. Of all the businesses that I can do, and there are many, many ways to go and make money. There are many different, there are many businesses that we can go into to make a living. Joel and I has made this our life. Simply, we really believe that in this time, in this world, when we are able to serve these SMEs, this is truly our legacy. And I'm very thankful for the team that we have, that we can come and do this together as a team. And also, you guys being part of this amazing legacy that we're going to leave behind in 3 to 5 years, 10 years down the road, we begin to see that, oh my goodness, the thing that we do really, truly has made an impact, not just on the SMEs, but the SME bosses, their families, the staff. And this is something that really drives me every single day. So just want to share with you guys, and thank you so much to be on board this crazy roller coaster ride with us. Okay, so also want to share with you guys about the core values that a company have, and I think it's very important. And over here you see a set of words, and they are our core values, and they are start with A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So the starting letters are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And most of the time, I would like to start off with the bottom one, which is grow. Actually, as you guys read this, and I've sent this across WhatsApp, I'll let you take some sharing as I go through one of each and every one. I just hope that one of you guys can actually come and share a little bit more about what this particular value means to you. I'm going to start with the last one, and that is grow. So maybe I'll start this off first. I think, to me, growing as a person, so every living thing, so can you imagine like a plant? Okay, so if you were to grow a plant, and if you had a seed and you put it into the soil, put in some water, put it into the sun, it will start to actually grow and germinate, right? But depending on the amount of care that you actually put into this growth, maybe in the beginning it's really all right, and maybe in about 2 months time it became a small little sapling, small little plant. But should we not take care of that, what will happen is that, well, the most natural thing, everybody will know that it will begin to wither and you begin to die. And why grow is really important to me is simply because a lot of times when we reach to a certain state of the plateau or the grind, doing the daily work, doing the daily routine, it's very easy to put this as an option, as something that we actually do not do. And it's actually very dangerous because all of us here, we are living things. Just to make sure there's no AI here, right? Everyone is alive, huh? Okay, that's good, that's good. Yeah, and if we are alive, then the most important thing for us is that we need to grow, not sideways. For some of us, the height one, we already limit already, okay? But really, truly is to grow in our minds, not just intellectually, not just in wisdom, but in terms of our mindset, in terms of our ability to and our capacity to have more compassion, to have more passion, and to use the knowledge and the life, the air that we breathe, to impact another human being. And that is what I talk about growing. And I invite you guys, for myself and also Jovo, almost on a daily basis, we continuously read, learn something new every single day. And I encourage you guys in anything that you do. It doesn't necessarily need to be for work. For Claire, it could be about clarinets. For Lai Ho, it could be about bowling. And for Sean, it could be about movies, how to watch movies better. I'm just kidding. But yeah, how can we grow a little bit every single day? Think that we are like a plant, right? And we've grown to wherever we are right now. Some of us in our 20s, none of us in our teens, some of us in our 50s. And wherever and whenever we are, and whichever age we are in, I think growing is a very important part of our lives. And it's something that we as a company, individually, we need to dedicate to. Yeah. So that's about me for growth. And I would like to take some sharing from anyone, actually about any of the values. So I hope that we can cover all the values this morning. Who would like to share?
I will share next. My name is Francis, basically from the CS team. Before I share, I have to say that sorry, the camera is not working. So the value I'm going with is basically family first. So over the last 2-3 months, the CS department has been very, very packed with our bigger clients such as One Cafe, and then we have Songfa and even Epitex, which is a 20 outlet big shit company. So what happened was, why family first? Because in times of need or such things, we actually bonded very, very well together. Like me and Bernard was tanking all the training and stuff, and Jenny and Reinhardt, with adding on with Claire, was helping us with all the group chat and support portion. So that was a very, very good sign of when we talk about family first, we watch each other back in terms of covering the work that we need to cover at the same time as well.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Francis, for that. And indeed, I think the family first is, you mentioned in terms of our extended family, right? Like Advocado is our extended family first. And I like to bring you guys more in terms of some of us here are not here today because they need to take care of something that happened for themselves personally, and really it's about their own family. And I like to share a little bit more, and I promise, okay, so for the values, this is the last time I'm going to share. But the reason is because of all these values in the past 3 months, in the past quarter, family first became very important for me. And what happened was that I worked myself to the ground during peacetime. So that is absolutely ridiculous because things are going well for us, and physically, I worked myself to the ground. I broke down physically, and I was facing a health crisis. The doctor said that I was borderline potential chance of getting a stroke. and that really during the season of recuperation, that got me to thinking, because for me, I still got two young daughters. I still got my wife who needs to take care of my daughters and loves me deeply. And now is not the time for me to go, now is the time for me to rally up, take excellent care of not just my immediate family, which is my own family at home, but also my extended family, and that is everyone in Advocado. So I have a newfound revelation of what it means to be family first. And thanks a lot, Francis, for sharing. And indeed, we are now still small, and we are a small little family. As we grow our family, hopefully to a certain size, it will be slightly bigger, but we'll still be a family. So thanks a lot, Francis. All right. Who will share next about any of the values that you that speaks the most to you?
Yeah,
Can I share? Oh, someone is sharing this one.
Am I saying you go first?
Okay. I want to talk about always open, honest, and constructive. So there's a little bit of an episode I had with my helper in Malaysia. We are in the midst of moving house. I just sort of moved quite a lot of things over to my new house. So and we have a nice balcony, which is where I'm sitting in right now, and it's kind of bare and empty. So we thought of we want to have two big trees, two big trees. So I said, hey, but the tree at our current house, previous house rather, was a bit bare. There's it's like a long branch, and then on the top, it's got trees, got leaves, but at the bottom all like skinny, like me like that. So I said, wow, not very nice. Maybe I should buy two more new trees. Okay, then, but it's okay, we can still bring over. So what happened was, lo and behold, right, the next day I went to my balcony and take a look at two trees, right? You know what my helper did? She cut off the entire tree, chop, left only like that only. It was a very tall tree, but she only cut everything, is all kosong. Nothing, no leaves. So I was a bit upset lah. I told my wife, then my wife said, hey, why she go and cut the tree? I said, I also don't know. I don't know why she want to do that. Then she said, sir, I think I cut the tree, I put into two pots, so you can have two trees in the new area. I said, okay, that's gonna take like years, It's gonna take like years, How are we gonna take this? Okay, never mind, forget it. It's okay, we'll see what happens. And then within 2 weeks, right? Okay, I was a bit upset. Within 2 weeks, new leaves sprouted out from the new, what they call the new cuts. And then within a week, right, suddenly it blossomed, very beautifully. And you can see like a lot of this. And it was the best part is, it was even more beautiful than when I thought of putting it here as it is. So my point was that be open and be constructive, always be listening to feedback and so on and so forth. And sometimes we think that we are correct, but lo and behold, right, my helper did the right thing, and now we have two even better beautiful trees, and young, small, short, just nice for my new house. So what I'm saying is that so sometimes we think that we may be doing the right thing, but it's always good to hear from other people's opinion and be willing to accept feedbacks, be willing to try something different. We never know. We may get ourselves into a greater adventure. So very well crafted core values, and I think it all works together very, very well. Eric?
Thanks a lot, Seng. That's very wonderful sharing. And it's interesting how you weave always open, honest, and constructive and growth together. The first and the last film. So that's really awesome. All right, who's next? Who want to share? Just now I heard someone else wanting to share something.
That's my voice. Okay, so I'm Bernard. I'm from the CS team. So Laiho can beautify anything, right? Can help me beautify my hairstyle sometimes.
You'll be surprised, You'll be surprised. Maybe can.
Yeah, we never know.
If you want to take the risk, I can give you a try.
Okay, so I'm gonna share on the core value of doing the best work. So quick one will be sometimes I feel doing the best work is not just on a personal front. because everything we do in the company, be it CS work or anything else, it affects everyone. So it's more of doing the best work so that we are doing the best, not just for ourselves, but for our colleagues, our peers, and for the company, and more importantly, for our merchants. Yeah, just a quick sharing on that.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Awesome. Yeah, indeed. And yep, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna dive into too much of it, and I love to take a few more sharing and hopefully cover every single one of the values. Who would like to share?
Hi everyone, I'll go next. I'm Harshita. Hello. I would like to share about be grateful because that is something that I resonated with in the past few months. So we all know that there was a difficult situation for everybody around different countries as well. And I think this time also taught us a lot. So I feel grateful because we are still working. There are a lot of people who have lost their jobs. So I think we are not only working, but as a company as a whole, we had an awesome Q3 as well. So that adds on to the happiness again. Even on the personal front, I think we're all safe, and not only here in Singapore, because Singapore is quite a safe country and government takes care of everybody so well, but also back in India, there's a situation where there's 70,000 to 80,000 cases every day, and it's mentally also a bit disturbing for us sometimes because we have all our family back in India, but then it makes me feel so grateful that everybody there is protected. Nobody in my family has lost their jobs or something. Like they are doing fine as well. So, which makes us at peace, so we can concentrate on our own things here. So, being turbulent past few months, and still we are not only surviving, but we are doing fine. I think everything, all of this really makes me feel grateful. And hence, like, because we are fine, we can do our best works as well. So, yep, that's all from me.
Thanks a lot, Harshita. Thanks. I think you brought us to the point where that a lot of times I think we take what we have for granted, and I think it's important for us to know that whatever we have right now, we not just cannot take it for granted. We need to be really grateful for what we have and be very thankful, because things could be significantly worse. And right now, as a company, we are primed to do extremely well over the next, not just next quarter, but possibly over the next few years. So for this, yeah, personally, truly, I'm also very grateful. Thanks a lot. Next, anyone else? Maybe I'll take one more and I'll skip one of the values.
Yeah, hi Eric, Jenny here from CSD.
Hey,
hi. Yeah, so I will be sharing for the very last value, which yet covered yet, creating all wins. Yeah, so from my point of view, I think creating all wins, right, is like, even though sometimes like Francis, Bernard, they go outside and then they do all the fighting, like visit merchants, do the renewals, everything. And then for my side, even though I'm in Malaysia and I'm not visiting merchants, but then what I can do to make sure like my whole team, everyone wins, is I take care of the tiny things. Like Francis, sometimes he will call me and then ask me to do some updates, and then even like tell me what's his calendar on and stuff. Yeah. So I think everyone have to do their parts to make sure the whole team is winning lah. Yeah. So this is my input. Yeah. I think that's all from my side.
Thank you very much. All right. So I just want to thank everybody, and one of these days, likely in our Q1 2021, I would actually go through this a little bit more in detail and set this a little bit more in context. But today, I just want to take a little bit more sharing, so that I just want everyone to share in terms of how the value means to them, as well as how this is actually, the values is a part of our lives. I think a lot of times companies have values that are written on the wall, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. I intentionally do not wish that to be so for us, that should these values be part of a wall or something like that. We don't just walk through it day by day, but let some of these core values guide us in our company, wherever we go, as part of something that is a part of our DNA. I think this is very, very important. All right. So moving on, the rest of the stuff would largely be done by myself, and other than introducing the new people, going through our mission as well as our core values, now it's time for results check. So wait, hang on. So our results thus far in Q3, and the first thing that we will talk about really is sales and collections. And I am very, very pleased to share with everybody, we had a phenomenal Q3. And if you look at these numbers here, boom, wow. The way to read this chart is that if you look at April, okay, so April we did a total of 45,000. That is the beginning of circuit breaker. So you guys know this already from the Q3 sharing. And in May we did about 55,000, June 73, and we're slowly ramping up to our normal values. In July we are more than normal already, which is 115,000. But surprisingly, in August we did 130,000, and the energy is not easing up. And last month we did a phenomenal 184,000 in terms of collections. That is that's probably, if I'm not mistaken, it's probably the highest ever been for a company in the entire month. I've got to check on that, but if you're able to achieve 184,000 of collections, so these are not just sales done, this is cash collected in a single month, right? Wow. I think our company would really be on a very good path to really be here for the long haul. You know, we're not just here to get market traction, not just here so that, you know, we quote unquote dominate, but we are here that we are able to go and fulfill our mission, and that is to make life awesome for merchants and their consumers. And to do that, first, we need to be able to do well as a company so that we can survive. We can make sure that we have enough money for the operations of the business. And right now, things are going really awesome for us. And today, this year, we have collected nearly 900,000 in terms of cash. And as we continue to go along, we are pretty much on track. With that, this year we did 188,000 in terms of, oh, actually someone actually asked me this question before, okay? How do I read all this blue la, orange la, red la? Someone had asked me this before. In fact, actually, every time people who see me show this, right, they always ask, hey, what are these yellow, red, blue? In case anyone has any questions, let me just clarify this once and for all. So the blue section are new sales, typically done by the sales team, and that would be Jovo, Shireen, Serene, and Sean. They will bring in the new sales, and the new sales collections are the blue component. The orange component is done by the CS team, specifically in the area of renewal, and currently now it's single-handedly done by one person, and his name is none other than Bernard. So kudos to you, Bernard. If you look at these crazy numbers, right, from April, the orange numbers from 14,000, 5,000, 16,000, beginning to ramp up to 17,000, 24,000, and in the last month, we did like nearly 30,000 of renewals, and that is really just absolutely crazy. And Team Malaysia, the interesting thing is that whatever you see here, right, this is your crystal ball. If you see this and these are numbers that you like, right, I can assure you that the numbers in Malaysia is just going to be more. Simply because Singapore is a tiny little red dot. If you prick this little red dot, you're just going to see a drop of blood. But in Malaysia, because of the sheer size of the population as well as how big the country is, once we are able to impart our knowledge of how to grow the business and you guys begin to see real solid traction, then achieving these numbers, not just in terms of achieving it in ringgit, but achieving it in Sing dollars equivalent is totally not just possible, and it's easy for you guys to surpass. And that is something for you guys to envision of what is possible in maybe about a year's time or even 2 years' time. All right, cool. So in the entire year, we've applied 188 PSGs, and of these 188, 106 have gone live. And if you look at from July onwards consistently, the PSG application have been 27, 21, and in September we did 40 PSGs, okay, 40 PSGs, and that is absolutely ridiculous. And more impressive is we have 2 CS live CS in Singapore, and the ability to onboard and live customers from June 11, 12, 10, and last month 19 is truly formidable. So all these results, like I mentioned in the beginning of this sharing in this town hall, is not one person's effort, but is that everyone pulling their weight to achieve these numbers. So these numbers belong to you guys, and I just want to applaud every single one of you. Thank you very much, everyone. Awesome, awesome job, man. Awesome, amazing. Okay. So next up, demand gen update, and today I'll do something different. Okay, I will show you what they have done. Some of y'all might have already seen it, some might have not, but I'm just going to show you guys what is going out there on social media. So I have not done the testing whether you got sound or not. If got no sound, someone flag out to me, can Tai Xiong.
Okay.
Like you do a signal like okay, if there's no sound, but if there's sound, well, enjoy. So this is one of it, okay? Oh, so sad. How do I actually do this? Let me see. Let me see. Okay, let me see.
I think, Eric, you have to stop sharing. You share screen already.
No. Okay. Nope. Yeah. Yeah. Just give me a second. One second. Let me see. Awesome. So that's the first one. And then I've got another one to show you. All right. So these are the two videos that have been done by Team Whoosh. Team Whoosh is run by Mr. C, and well, very unnatural to call him Mr. C though. So it's done by Dr. C. You know? Yeah. But my dearest brother saying he and his team actually came up with these two. Don't you think this is really amazing? And there's just more to come because we have two customer testimonial videos that we are on the way to go and shoot. I believe this week will be one of them, correct? Yeah, and more to come in terms of doing really solid initial top of the funnel lead generation for the business, so as to beef up inbounds, so that more people can get to know about Advocado, and the team can do more in terms of sharing with other merchants and people that are not in the know of actually how to use the cloud software to engage their customers. And that is demand generation for you guys. Thanks a lot, saying let us give them a round of applause. Awesome. All right. Next up, customer success. So today also we do a little bit different, and I want to start off with the success story of 99 Hair, 99% Hair Studio. And if you were to get and look at this, 99 Hair Studio is a 3-outlet hair and nail salon situated in shopping malls. And the challenges that it faces that is stiff competition in the hair industry that makes it really difficult to get customers to return on a regular basis. And 99% used to print and distribute vouchers to get more customers to return, and there's no system in place to track the effectiveness of these campaigns, and the process of printing vouchers is very slow, and there's additional costs to this particular process. And how we really help them is that we're able to help them to transform from physical vouchers to digital vouchers and implement a way for them to track and measure their membership and loyalty program, able to help them to collect customer information very, very quickly and grow their customer base, and to remarket to their existing customers and get their customers to return. And all this is really our primary brand promises, right? Same song, nothing has changed very much. And the results that we achieve for them is that in 6 months, and specifically during the time of COVID circuit breaker, and for the Malaysians, MCO, we're able to collect a total of 3,000 customers in 6 months. And with the help of certain promotions, they collected a database of more than 1,800 customers, and revenue, get this, revenue close to 200,000 Sing dollars in 4 months. Guys, for hair salon, okay, that's ridiculous. And during circuit breaker, when activities are at a minimum, they gave up promotional vouchers to their customers, and leading to customers waiting to claim the vouchers when the salon reopened in phase 2. Singapore, not yet phase 3, right? So we're still in phase 2. And what we've done in phase 1 really helped them to actually do this. And last but not least, on a regular basis, they have 10% and more returning customer on regularly, and this is also inclusive of the COVID-19 period. And This is what Jaron has to say about us, and that we used to give out physical vouchers and manual tracking, but with Advocado, all rewards are digital, automated, which saves us a lot of time and printing costs. We want our customers to have a stress-free and enjoyable experience. We want to build an environment where they can freely express what they want, and Advocado helps us to stay true to our mission of making customers happy, while at the same time help us to do more meaningful customer engagement. So I really like this, right, guys? I really like this, right? Advocado helps them to stay true to their mission of making customers happy, and at the same time helping them to do more meaningful customer engagement. So I think when I get a feedback like this, right, I just feel that the work that I do, the intention of leaving the legacy to really empower and bless and do more for the merchants, I begin to see it bearing fruit a little at a time, and this kind of feedback and this kind of success stories really excites me. So other than sharing with you the success story, I also want to share with you guys the results specifically for the customer success. And if you were to look at these numbers again, and let me explain how to read this particular thing. So the blue component is the amount of percentage renewal that we have in a specific month. The red color is churn. They no longer uses Advocado. The orange one, very sadly, the business has closed down, and the green one is pending. So if you were to take a look at over May, June, July, August, you can see a steady trend of retention and renewals from our merchants. And although in September, we have a drop to 50%, the intention specifically for the CS team is to achieve 50% of more renewals. And as long as we are focused across the year to achieve 50% renewal, and as long as we continuously do more merchant acquisition, then our business will always continuously grow. So maybe out of this context, love to have a conversation with Claire and understand a little bit more about her insights on customer churn and stuff like that. First and foremost, honestly speaking, I can only get information from the US SaaS about their churn and stuff like that. In Singapore, people generally do not share their numbers, but I think this is the first time for a lot of people to see our churn. And we are doing a retention of close to about 50%. It took us a long time to reach here because we used to have about 70 or even 80% churn. And to achieve 50% is a really large part of the efforts of the CS team, from not just from the CS team, but from the sales team, pitching correctly, handing the baton to the CS team to do onboarding and training correctly, going live, handling the reviews to actually achieve this particular state. But hear me out, guys. We are not done yet, you know. I think the important thing is for us to really ramp this up so that we achieve close to about 70% of renewal rate month on month and year on year. And this is something that there is a gap, and it's something for us to all work together as a team to go and handle this. I know that on the ground, there's probably some sentiments in terms of why isn't this done this way? Why isn't that done that way? There's a lot of miscommunication here and there. And there are also like misunderstanding in terms of miscommunication of many different things. I think specifically in Singapore, that's something that we will intentionally improve on with the CS team, myself and Tai Xiong to really tighten up the operations of things, innovate in terms of how else can we improve this process so that we drive the renewals upwards. And as we begin to learn this, we will be able to also share this with Team Malaysia so that they will also be able to go and experience a high level of renewals. And in the beginning, it will be challenging because there is a mob mentality around this thing. So when you first start to onboard your merchants, right, as you begin to ramp up in terms of attraction and your growth, you have less time per merchant. And should you have less time per merchant, the relationship to them churning will be there. So that's something for us to go and learn in terms of how can we continuously help them to habitualize in terms of using Advocado, despite the noise of their staff saying that, hey, this is very troublesome, competition coming in and say you should not use Advocado, and many other things, but helping them really to go and solidify this. And I believe there's a lot of work for us to do. But, you know, at this point of time, I would say have what you have and be grateful and thankful for it. I am blessed and I am thankful and grateful that we have more than 50% of renewal now. It could have been significantly worse. We could have like only 5% of renewal, and that would be a very bad thing to show this morning. But instead of 5%, hey, we've got 51%. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Just that we know that there's work for us to do. So, and with regards to customer success, there's one particular thing I want to point out this morning, and that is One Cafe. One Cafe is very interesting. Of all the merchants that we have onboarded this year, One Cafe is something special for me. Why? Because Advocado is incorporated 16 May 2016. 16 May 2016. So we started 16 May 2016. And before that, I've been working on a prototype and MVP of Advocado for more than 18 months. And I was about to ready to launch Advocado already. And a month before we incorporated, I was sitting at Changi Airport and I took this picture. Shot on 8th of May 2016. Oh, sorry, 8 days before we were launched. 8 days before we were launched. And this sign is still at One Cafe. For those who have gone to One Cafe and do the onboarding, this sign is still at One Cafe. But I just want to share with you why this is monumental and why this is a key milestone for me. Because when I sat at Changi Airport and when I saw this and I took a picture of it, I thought to myself, what we did on Advocado, we should be able to service companies like One Cafe. And never, and I am very, I'm not naive about this, right? I know that in order to win One Cafe and many other businesses that we have like Songfa and Epitex and many other of these businesses, right? To actually win them is really difficult. But we know that, but I know that we built the technology able to go and serve these merchants. And I'm very, very happy to share with you. And most of you guys already know, right? That One Cafe is finally, after 4 years, on board with Advocado. And they are not, they are quite sizable. They have 34 outlets. And with the help of the team, they intentionally will go live in November 2020. And I want to take this opportunity to really acknowledge a few different people. Actually, the One Cafe project, right? I was the key person. I was a point man on One Cafe, and just as we were beginning to do our trainings, I got struck down. Physically, I was unable to really show up not just in terms of show up for the company, but physically show up for meetings. And I messaged the team, and everyone started rallying together, including Jovo, the core CS team, Bernard, Francis, and the technical team. Everyone said, "Hey, you know, you go and rest. Let us handle everything." And that was almost about a month and a half, almost 2 months already. And yeah, we're intentionally having them going live in November 2020. And I want to acknowledge everyone that has the fact that I've dropped the ball and you guys have pulled the weight. And specifically, special thanks to Jovo, the core CS team, Bernard and Francis for doing everything that needs to be done. Is tremendous focus and tremendous dedication on your end to make sure that they are well taken care of. And in order for that to happen, the rest of the CS team, Jenny, Reinhardt, Claire, for holding the fort so that they can focus on what they need to do. And I also want to especially have acknowledgement and mention for the technical team. They're able to do all the necessary enhancement, including advanced store value and all the necessary enhancement to the API so that the integration with SciCav is really smooth. Kudos to Navin, which is the head of engineering, leading the team, Viet and Chin, to deliver brilliantly to make sure that One Cafe is a huge success. And last but not least, I want to have a special mention to Isaac. He couldn't be with us this morning. He messaged me earlier on and said that he's not feeling well, and he's taken a couple of days of MC. And but I want to especially acknowledge Isaac, because in this entire journey, there are too many people coming to say that, wow, your Isaac is very good. And that goes the same specifically for not just Wang, but also SciCav, which is the POS vendor. And they say that without him, the integration wouldn't have grown as smoothly. So I just want to really thank everyone on board on this. And it's just full of gratitude that when I'm struck down, everyone is able to play a part, and this project has gone as smoothly as we can. So thank you very much. All right, next up, we can hear from Malaysia. So I'd like to pass the time now over to Seng to share a little bit more about what's going on in Malaysia. Hang on, let me just. All right.
Hey, thanks for giving me the microphone. Today I kind of like stopped a lot more sharing because I thought I could have some airtime. So that's like, okay. Can you guys see?
Yep.
All right. Okay, this is the first time that we are officially presenting something to the team. Now, just to let you guys know, as Joshua came in the period of June. And when he came in, I told myself, I told Eric as well, I said that, look, I need a 战友. In Chinese, it's called basically someone who fights alongside with you in a war, right? So when he came on board, it gave me greater confidence to run Advocado Malaysia and take it on to greater heights. But having said that, Malaysia, being Malaysia, it does have its fair share of challenges. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of slides. It's going to be very, very fast. Okay, so just a quick update, some updates. I think all of us know Claire very well. We have a new staff, and many would have not known. People like Jenny, people like Claire, people like, what's her name? Janelle, okay. Actually sits in our office together. Joshua goes out hunting for food, right? So he doesn't really have to come to the office very much, but But Janelle, Claire, as well as Jenny sits in the office, and we see them very, very often, almost every single day. But of course, due to MCO, we are all working from home. So I guess that they are of great support to the Singapore team. So I'm very glad that we're working together very well. So of course, Claire, once again, I want to welcome her. We have a lot of insights talking to her because many people in Malaysia, as far as merchants are concerned, some of the stronger ones, they are using StoreHub, and actually Claire comes from StoreHub and gave us a lot of insights into how StoreHub works, and of course give us a lot more insights on how we can steer the Malaysia business in a certain direction that we feel will be complementary to the merchants' needs. Okay, so next, we have seven new agents rather. So what are agents, right? Agents, in a way, it is almost like a partnership in Singapore, but we call them agents because they are single individuals. They are not really businesses. They are not partners. They are agents. So in Malaysia, of course, because of the MCO, people are losing their jobs. They are very strong and passionate people who have lost their jobs. Gym instructors, for example, even multi-level marketers, multi-level marketing people who are in the business. There are even pastors, right, who are not doing very well. They came out and wanted to do their own business, but they couldn't, they couldn't get the things together. But they know a lot of people. So and we have talked to agents like this. We've talked to people who are passionate and hungry, and we talked to them and we showed them what Advocado can do, and they really got excited. And we have people like this, one of which, Goh Chun Yong, he is actually a reverend, a pastor of a church that has been running church for 20 over years. And he is the one person that has been very, very passionate, going to different, reaching out to people who came into basically, who he has pastored before. And also he was so hungry that he went out to the street and talked to every single merchant that's lining up the street. Another lady called Shireen also has recommended a couple of merchants as well. Next, at least for the past couple of months, we right now officially have 4 paying customers. Is it a? Yeah, thank you. Is it a high number? Of course, I wish that to be a lot more. But out of this, right, 103 Coffee Workshop, okay, Super Ramen, 103 Coffee Workshop, Aeon Outlet. Now, look at this, right? Essentially, there are only 2 companies. But when we started out, we have 103 Coffee Workshop with us, and those Andy Mega. But 103 Coffee Workshop, when they did Advocado, okay, within the first 1 month, okay, they have 5,000 new members. Okay, and they were so impressed with Advocado. And before Advocado, they were using this rural program called Mula, and they've been using that for 3 over years. Okay, and this boss, Ken, is a very smart guy. He knows exactly how to harvest data, and he dropped Mula. He came on board of Advocado. He was so impressed. Within the next 1 to 2 months, he got Super Ramen, which is also a restaurant that's under his shareholding, and Super Ramen did well. And then just a couple of days back, he came on board with 103 Coffee Workshop, which is an Aeon outlet. Okay, so this company is, to us, is very important. And of course, thanks to the success, the CSD team, Jenny is particularly helping us to work with them very, very closely. The team is pretty large, and they are also pretty demanding in terms of getting us to integrate the POS system and so on and so forth. So we are working through those processes. So I come to realize whatever Jovel and Eric were saying, as we talk to them a lot more, and I realized that there is a sort of a standard formula to selling, because every one of them asked for the same thing. They want to integrate with POS, right? So we also have a standard answer as well. But we're getting a hang of it, pretty much. Okay, so I think 4 is not a lot, but I think it's a small success that we should celebrate in Malaysia. Okay. We have also made 8 presentations. Pastor Goh and Joshua also went to all this food place and did some presentations, and many of them are having a very, very positive response. Okay, even the Chop Family Restaurant. Chop Family Restaurant, I want to indicate here very clearly, is because they are just a small little chicken rice stall. Okay, but they wanted to have, basic reward programs and so on and so forth for the customers. Okay, they heard about it. You see, the thing is that they say that, oh, the price is no issue. Okay, but how do they integrate with, basically the chef software? So that because they are very busy, especially 12 to 2, it's going to be very busy. How they can use Advocado and yet, not so-called bring down, the productivity of their staff. Okay, so what I'm saying here is this, right? The message here I'm trying to say is that indeed what Eric is saying, Singapore's progress is a crystal ball for Malaysia, and even the smallest of chicken rice store, okay, it will eventually get them to be our customer. So of course Malaysia is going to explode, I believe very strongly. So we got to really, together with Joshua and the rest of the team, really push very, very hard for Malaysia. Okay, next 6 impending appointments. Okay, unfortunately, because of the CMCO, and I'm hoping that CMCO is going to be removed very soon. But our last day of CMCO is supposed to be on the 26th of October. Hopefully that won't extend. So we are hoping to bring our appointments, our meetings to those to the people, to the merchants, because Malaysia, being Malaysian, many of them don't even know how to use Zoom or Google Meet. Even some of our agents as well. So physical presence is in fact very, very important. So we are doing our best to make sure we have some meetings and communications done within this CMCO. But it has been quite tough for us, honestly. Okay. Next, some of the strategies for Advocado Malaysia, just a quick one: partnership for relational selling, because partnerships and because we also realize in Malaysia, many of the way people close, right? Many of the time that people close is just by pure relationship. I know this brother, I know this, my brother-in-law opened this restaurant and so on and so forth. Just by the word of mouth, we can talk to the higher management very, very quickly. Of course, I believe that Singapore is going to be the same as well, but in Malaysia particularly so, because everybody, in fact, a lot of people do businesses, they start businesses and everybody knows everybody. That's how small Malaysia is in terms of relationship, right? So we are tying up with agents, and this is our first wave of strategy, that is to work with agents very closely and get to know people inside and talk to them and use relationship selling as an approach. Okay, and of course we're installing attractive remuneration plans for agents as well. And this is something I've not presented to Eric before, but we call it the recurring based commission. Essentially is that if you want to be our agent, okay, you have to meet a KPI of 3 months, 3 agents per month closing, right? Or anything of the likes, okay? And if you are able to manage that, we will be able to give you a recurring based commission subsequently after 1 year, right? So, and we're going to do something for them in terms of the base pay as well. So this is something that we are still lining up. But agents heard this, they were very excited, and they felt that there's something that will propel them and inspire them to do more selling. And really, Pastor Go is just a great testament. And he literally go out to different places along and just go and knock on everybody's door. So I feel that if we work hard on this, we should see some breakthrough within the next 2 to 3 months on this. And of course, inbound focus for video assets creation, co-branding. Just for you guys to know, Facebook for Advocado Malaysia, with the help of Leonard, we have managed to get our page likes up to about 30,000. And we are using that as a strategy to talk to merchants who have been onboarded with us. We will tell them, after 3 months, right? If I find that if the management team of Advocado Malaysia finds that you guys are using Advocado very, very well, and have in a way strategically use Advocado to help your business, we will come in from Advocado Malaysia standpoint, okay, and basically help you to do a co-branding video together with Advocado. And then you can use the asset to put on your social media, and we will also interview you, and in a way to make it very lively and put it up as a video asset. And then for that video asset, we'll put it on the Advocado Malaysia Facebook, and we will push it, and we will so-called do a media buy on that. So it's like a win-win situation, right? So we're also giving a little bit of the merchants a reason to use Advocado well. Sorry, someone is washing something, so it's going to be a bit noisy. Is it affecting you guys?
No, very good.
Okay. So last slide, our monthly targets, our stretch goal. Every single month, we hope to rope in 3 new agents. Our stretch goal, 5 new agents per month. 3 paying customers for now. Okay. Stretch goal, 5 new paying customers every single month. Now, CMCO, how is that going to happen, affect us? I think in a way it's going to affect us, but still a goal is a goal and we have to push ourselves. Right? 5 qualified inbounds from Facebook and IG. Okay,
Nice.
The stretch goal is 8. Right now, Facebook is really just starting out. We have quite some people coming in asking, but they don't revert back for some reason. Okay, so this is something that the team from Whoosh Media are going to work really hard on. And the last one is 10 new prospects from agents. Okay, so if I have 3 new agents and every agent were to give me 3 to 4 prospects, I think to me 10 is a reasonable number to expect. Okay, so this is my last slide. Anybody, any questions?
Seng, just go back one.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So excellent. I think this is really cool, and I just one little minor adjustment, right?
Sure.
Don't call it a stretch goal, okay? So normally this is how I would say it. For example, for agents, right? 3 new agents to win, 5 to wow. Okay, so customers, 3 new paying customers a month to win, 5 to wow. Wow. If it's stretched, it sounds very painful.
Yeah, this is how an engineers work. For many people who don't know, I'm an engineer by training, so we go into engineering lingo. Eric is not an engineer. No, actually, Eric is an engineer.
I'm
I don't think so.
I'm an engineer. No, I am.
Computer science.
I'm
No, you're more a business. Okay, but point taken. I think it's a great feedback. I will wow you guys with greater goals next time.
Right. Should be awesome, and I think it's a fantastic goals. I think a good way to go and start off this time, especially if you ask me. I think for Malaysia specifically, the challenge is there. Yeah, while the challenge is there, the possibility to win is also there. So similarly as how we have done it, not just in Singapore, but everywhere else, everyone on this team, the goal could be challenging, but because we do it together, right, we win together. And that's part of encapsulating our core value, creating all wins. It's not just that the person who planned for this win, but everyone in the company will win, our merchants win, and our consumers also win. So looking forward to really cool, amazing result. Awesome. Thanks a lot. All right. So let us just continue. I think I'll be able to finish this up within 20 minutes. And the next part of it was something I typically do in the beginning of a town hall, but I decided to put it on the last component, and that is really to merge a recap as well as what's next. So if we were to recap Q3, and if you guys were to remember what I shared about Q3 was this component we brought back to the vision of the year, and that is the focus to grow better. And grow what? So we grow company, grow ecosystem, grow merchants, and we grow product. And for grow company really is to drive revenue and sustainability. Grow merchants is drive retention with more focus and productivity. Drive ecosystem and drive partnerships, and grow product is to drive traction. So focusing on growing company, and what we touched on specifically is to do a readjustments of our goals and target right after circuit breaker has ended. And we declared a goal of 650,000 for 5 months and to achieve break even. And this was the specific slide, if you guys recall, talking about how are we going to achieve 650,000. So starting on the big number on the left side, 650,000 is made out of 77,000 in terms of new sales and 75,000 in terms of renewals. And for 577,000 in new sales is built out of inbound and outbound of 400 over 1,000 partners.
Eric, sorry, cannot see any slides.
Oh goodness, someone should have told me leh. Hello. At least someone told me lah. I've been presenting like nobody's business, but nobody saying anything. Hey, thanks a lot, Bernard. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Yep. All right. So I'm just gonna start from here. Okay. So about the company growing better on the 4 different aspects, focusing on grow company. We touched on growing 650,000 to achieve a break even. And if you look at what we shared last quarter, on the left-hand side is 650,000 is made up of 577,000 in terms of new sales and 75,000 in terms of renewal. And specifically for new sales of the 577,000, 400 over 1,000 is in inbound and outbound, and from partners is 165. And in order to achieve that, we need to hit like 45 appointments, 70 qualified leads, and 10 appointments from partners. And for the renewals portion is to achieve like 15,000 in terms of monthly. And based on what we've achieved over the past 2 months, okay, if you were to look at these numbers in terms of for new sales, 577,000, because it is 2 months, right? 2 over 5, 2/5 of the month. The target to achieve 100% is 230,000. So 2 over 5 of 577 is 230,000, and by the end of September we achieved 245,000, and that is a performance of 106, which means when we continue to do what we do, then we're likely to achieve these targets. So this is really awesome. Great job to everyone. And I'm also very happy to share with you guys with regards to renewals. The intention to achieve is 75,000 across August and December. And what the renewal team, aka Mr. Bernard, has achieved, his one-man team, man, is he's achieved 53,000. 2 over 3 of 75,000 is 30,000, and he has achieved 53,000 of renewals in 2 months, and that's a performance of 176%. So this is really, really impressive. So great job, Bernard, and great job to everyone on the inbound team, sales team, and for Jess handling the collections. So awesome stuff. All right. So that's for grow company. And I'm going to bring our focus to a grow ecosystem, and that is 10 new partnerships by the end of the year. And if we were to go to look at driving partnerships, the purpose of partnerships really is to propel acquisition and to boost the stickiness of using Advocado. And with the intention of 10 commercial partners, we will do between 10 to 20 more sales appointments every single month. And this is a declaration, right? So there's no past history to do this. And who do we have on partnerships? Well, we have Leonard. So let's look at over the past 6 weeks of actual solid work, what we have achieved. The declaration was for 10 commercial partners, and we did not achieve 10. We actually got 20 commercial partners. But hang on to your applause first. We have 20 new commercial partners. We did not have 10 to 20 more sales appointments. We got about 8 more sales appointments. It was a great learning experience for us, especially for Leonard. Understanding specifically, like having more partners doesn't necessarily translate to more sales appointments. In fact, of these 20 commercial partners, only 2 are active partners. And therefore, the quality of the partners are significantly more important. And our focus this new quarter is really on how to ramp up and how to nurture these partners and onboard new partners that will become active partners. So that is for partnership. And next up is growing merchants, and we always go back to having 40% or more merchants in good health, and specifically also in renewals. I'm just going to touch on very quickly that with the focus of automating review reports, and right now it's still very automated. Reinhard is doing them. How can we focus? How can we work with the technical team to automate these review reports, developing the champions that we have? This year has been a year that has the carpet pulled from the bottom of our feet, and we're just stabilizing about what we do, as well as having a very busy period of onboarding One Cafe and Epitex. We might have a little bit of breathing time to go and focus on how to develop champions, as well as how to improve on our productivity with regards to many aspects of our business. I believe that we are already beginning to improve on how we outsource marketing materials, but that is something that we can always improve on, and with the intention so that 40% of our merchants would be in good health, and also more than 40% of our merchants have renewals. And based on the results that you have seen right now, the metric of more than 50% of our merchants are renewing is already great. I believe that as we continue to improve the processes in merchant success, in customer success, we will be able to boost these numbers up. And that is for the part on growing merchants. And the final part of our growing product, the last quarter, as we go and if we recap last quarter, we talked about pay. And just a very, very quick recap about why we actually come up with pay in the first place, right? So if you were to recall, when circuit breaker happens, there's a phenomenon, right? The phenomenon is that all the merchants, they will need to actually shut down. They have no, they either do takeaway business, or their retail shop have to close, the hair salons have to close, and they actually have no actual way to go and do business. We see them, this particular phenomenon, other than day closing, they also flock to the platforms. And flocking to the platforms, they find there's 2 major problems. Number one, the commissions that the platforms charge is really, really high. Like on Grab, they're charging a ridiculous price of like 30%. On Faith, you're talking about something as crazy as like 40%, even 60% of commissions. And if you ask me, I think that's just absolutely insane. However, this is really happening in real life. This is not a dream, but truly a nightmare for the SMEs. And with that, other than the fact that they need to flock to the online platforms to maybe do some business, they now face immense, fierce competition of everybody flocking to the platform. So imagine if you were the consumer, right? Last time there were maybe about 5,000 cafes on the platform, and suddenly overnight, in a month, there are more than 20,000 cafes on a platform. So if you were to use Grab, Deliveroo, Foodpanda, and if you were to go on these particular platforms, right, what are the chances of you ordering from a cafe that you have never ever heard before? The chance is perpetually 0, right? Because most of the time when we go onto these platforms, what happens is that we already decided what we want to buy. Maybe it's some wonton mee, maybe it's McDonald's, maybe it's pizza, and we typically order the stuff that we're most familiar with. And we realized that this became a very huge issue, and very quickly we identify what are the most important things. Number one, the commissions are very, very, very high. Number two, the competition is very, very, very fierce. So first and foremost, we need to bring down the commissions. So instead of the businesses charging like 30%, so what's the lowest commission that we can charge? And we managed to strike a specific deal with a payment provider in Singapore, and our charge is not 30%, it's not 10%, it's not even 5%. It is 3% plus 50 cents per transaction for our merchants. So that is really ridiculously low, simply because if you go on to Stripe, it's 3.4%. And we believe that this is going to be really awesome for our businesses. And in COVID-19, we see that a lot of merchants actually begin to do more business during direct contact with their merchants using very traditional forms like WhatsApp. And if they were to use a specific portal, whether it's a Shopify, whether it is the platform, there's no easy way for them to do to share using something like WhatsApp. So what we did specifically is that we modify our offers so that people can actually very quickly go into the merchant backend, create an offer link within minutes, and able to have this link powered by Pay, and they're able to send this particular link to their customers directly. And this is what Pay essentially is. So Pay, we aim to push specifically to launch in 9/9. We were unsuccessful, largely because I fell very, very ill. But as I began to recover, we began to ramp up and we began to focus. And very happy to announce, and I believe a lot of people already know, we launched 10/10 in 2020 with 9 merchants. And what we actually see this over here. There's just a number of the 9 promotions that are available from MTM, Nimiski, Straits Nonia, as well as Time Table Cafe. And with that, we launched on 10/10 on a single specific day. And I believe that you guys will be curious to know what are the results, right? Some of you guys already know, but we're still having trickling of sales after 10/10. And the GMV for this launch is 3,161, exactly this particular amount. So when you look at this number, right, 3,161 it's like how Singh has shared his slides, right? And he very humbly says that, you know, the numbers are not great. And I have to share with you these numbers, 3,161. It is something that we started and we have some results. And I just want to share with you guys, when we launched Pay 10/10 in 2020, we actually will never know what we're going to get. I've shared with some people, it could be magic, it could be tragic. And this number, 3,000 plus, is definitely not magic, but it is certainly not tragic. It could have been under $100, and that would have been tragic. But when I look at this 3,161, I see that the opportunity is there. And launching Pay in 10/10, we have learned so much lessons with regards to what we need to do better in order to market to the consumers, what we need to do better to actually do more for the merchants, structure the deals better. And with that, we are ready to face 双十一, 11/11. And likely that's going to be also something for us to learn. We will not know what's going to happen specifically 11/11, but at least will not be as clueless as 10/10. So with $3,000 GMV for a start, I think it's a really good start for us. Like I said, it is not magic, but it's certainly not tragic. And with this, it is a good first step in the right direction. And I believe pay will be something very, very phenomenal. So next up, then what's next? Final quarter, 2020. All right, it's time to brace ourselves to let me share with you about what that's going to be, okay? So over here, as you have listened earlier on, and that's the reason why I did the recap of Q3 right at the end, because it ties in with what's next. In Q4 2020, right in the center, this big core piece, which is our cloud CRM, and this is our core business. We already are very clear that we'll continue to gun to focus on achieving 650,000 in the 5 months. 40% of merchants or more in good health, as well as renewals, and we are already achieving that in the areas of renewal. But more importantly, we need to work closely with the technical team to roll out the merchant health tracking, and the declaration is to launch by the end of December 2020. And with regards to partnerships, we see that having a lot of partners, like 20 partners, doesn't translate directly to the number of sales appointments that we have, and therefore it's not just about the quantity, but the quality of the partners, and therefore the focus of ramping up from 2 active partners to 5 active partners by the end of the year would be our focus on partnership, and that would be the core thing specifically for our core business. And in the previous segment, I've also talked about pay. So pay in 10/10, what happened was that we had 9 merchants to start off, and what's coming up next will be 11/11. And our win goal, okay, our win goal is 30 merchants. So TX, Taixiong, are you ready? So that is, yep. Taixiong.
Yes, definitely. Let's go, guys.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Okay. And well, if there's 11/11, there will be 12/12. So 11/11 with the intention to roll with 30 merchants, 12/12 with the intention to 50 merchants, and there are also many other plans that we are working on ramping up on the GMV for pay. Pay is something really special. I put it right at the beginning because pay would now be the new foundation and the new glue that actually ties everything together. In the center, we have cloud CRM, and that will always be our core business. But the new foundation would be pay. And if you saw earlier on, our GMV is 3,000 Sing dollars. And our intention as well as our declaration is to drive GMV $3,000 from $3,000 to 1 million every month in 12 months time. It seems like it's going to be a really, really big and stretch goal. Okay lah, let's not use the word stretch. Wow, go. let's see what happens by the end of the year, and we shall see in Q1 2021 if there's any changes to this particular plan. It should be quite exciting. Okay, so that is for the core component as well as pay, and there's actually still the black section, right? And I'm going to take this opportunity in Q4 to share with you two new business initiatives that we have, and one of them is training. So let me just talk a little bit more about training. Okay, so the thing about training is that right now in Advocado, especially in Singapore, we are providing training essentially for free as part of the package, right? And part of the onboarding, we provide training specifically for free. And training is interesting because other than onboarding, I believe that our CS team is very happy to go and educate as well as empower and train the people on the ground on how to use Advocado effectively. But there is a situation that's happening right now because the staff turnover for the retailers are high. And what happens is that when there are new staff that comes in order for them to maintain the same level of usage and habitualization they use Advocado, often the retailers would ask the CS team, hey, can you actually train our guys, our new guys again? And they probably get this particular request very, very, very often. And right now, what happened is that since we done the training free in the beginning, when they ask for retraining, we also give them for free, and it adds a toll on our business. So we realized that we actually need to focus on how can we actually do in such a way so that training, number one, is far more structured, doesn't take up more time for our CS team, and what if we actually can generate some revenue from it? Wouldn't that be cool? And Joel and I have been wrecking our brains about how actually going to solve this problem with regards to training, and I'm very pleased to share with you that we are going to roll out training and a very structured form of training very, very soon. And this training is really unique because the training is going to be WSQ certified. And for those people who do not know, essentially is that it's going to be certified by the government. It will be 90% subsidized. So every participant, there's a specific amount that they attend, possibly in the range of $200 to $400, and this is 90% subsidized for the retailers. The training now is more structured and is available for all new merchants and also for current merchants who require their staff to go for retraining. And this generates new revenues for Advocado. And importantly, it also enhances the ecosystem for the Advocado. When people take on training, and this training can be very interesting because it's WSU certified. So what's going to happen is that people can actually go online in the training portals for the government and actually find how to use Advocado CRM to do consumer engagement. They can just take on this training by themselves without the need of their companies, or if they are individuals, they're just professionals who just learn a new skill. They do not need to be using Advocado in their premise right now. But when they take on this particular training, obviously we are going to use Advocado to go and train them. And when they go back to their businesses, they will say, hey, we need to use a CRM to go and manage our consumer engagement. And guess which one they're going to recommend? It will be Advocado lah. So other than this particular part, that as they attend the training themselves, they will recommend Advocado. People who are already using Advocado, they now be able to use the training and they will be more engaged and in terms of understanding how to use Advocado, and that's why the ecosystem is enhanced. So when is this going to be launched? We've been working very hard on this. So right now, the course material is currently now being developed and going to be sent to the government specifically to be approved, and intentionally, this training will be launched in January 2021. And that's training for you. And so there's still one more piece of black color stuff that is yet to be unveiled. And today I want to share with you guys, and for the last part of my presentation, I'm happy to announce to you there is a new business initiative that we've been working on quite hard, and it's called Advocado Plus. So what is Advocado Plus? Let me drink some water first. I talk a lot. So as we do the business for Advocado, a lot of times we hear merchants say, hey, can you bring me new customers or not? And what's our resounding response? No, we cannot. Because we help you to manage your existing customers. If you are situated in a place that has very little human traffic, if you only have maybe 10 customers a day, we can only help you to manage your 10 customers a day. And that is what Advocado originally was designed to do. And therefore, a lot of customers ask us, how can they bring new customers to us? And other than bring new customers, there's a lot of different providers out there, like deals platform like Faith, Entertainer, Itigo, Burple, and they're doing all kinds of different things to go and bring new customers, right? We find that there isn't one that is really very good. And at this point of time, Advocado Plus, we begin to chance upon a specific group of people that actually go onto the ground and enroll new consumers for retailers. But they're doing it in a very physical form, using actual physical pieces of paper for consumers to purchase, to go down to the shops. So without giving you too much information, essentially what Advocado Plus does is that we are now able to have more new consumers for merchants, as much as 5,000 more consumers for the merchants. And how much is it going to cost for merchants? There is no upfront cost for the merchants. So the merchants do not need to pay us to actually get on board on this. And then, sounds too good to be true, right? So is there any cost at all? Well, the cost is risk sharing, is performance based only. So if the consumers come to the shops and they do some spending, then we will share a bit of a profit together with them. And what's interesting about Advocado Plus is that Advocado Plus will also drive GMV on pay and will lead also to new revenues for Advocado. At the same time, similarly to training, it will enhance the ecosystem. So if you see how the training would get, when people use the training, will get more people to use the pay and get more people to come onto Advocado, the core CRM. Similarly for Advocado Plus, in order for merchants to come on board this, even though they start off with a new campaign on Advocado Plus, they bring on the consumers, they will need to have a CRM to manage the customers, and also to actually use pay to re-engage them, and that's how we enhance the ecosystem. And Advocado Plus, we are working very hard on it. Our intention really is to launch Advocado Plus in December 2020, by the end of this year. And there you have it. This is my update for Q4. In Q4, our core business to focus and rally on the targets and goals that we set for ourselves, that is to achieve 650,000, achieve break even, 40% for merchant good health, as well as as well as renewals, 5 new active partners. For pay, 11 to do 30 merchants, 12 to do 50 merchants, with the trajectory and path of driving GMV from 3,000 to 1 mil, training with all the necessary goodness and benefits for the merchants, as well as for Advocado to be launched in January 2021. And last but not least, with Advocado Plus to really help the merchants to get more customers and no upfront call whatsoever, and driving up the ecosystem and the businesses in Advocado to be launched in December 2020. And that sums up everything that we needed to do in 2020 Q4. And that's my update for you guys this morning. How is it?
Woo!
Bravo.
All right, man. It's exciting times, guys. And if you look at this, really is we're taking Q4 to. It seems like a lot of work, right? But I see Q4 is a form of preparation for explosion in 2021. While we drive specifically in the center to focus on breaking even, making sure our business work, the one on the outside of the core, including pay, training, Advocado Plus, really is to cement our we're building like a springboard for us to really skyrocket into 2021 and beyond. And we believe that these initiatives will be really very exciting. And for those that have been with us since the beginning of the year, you begin to see how pay is unfolding, and you will soon see how training will unfold and Advocado will unfold. And really blessed to be in this really amazing company with great people. And I believe that it's going to be really awesome. Do you guys have any questions at all?
Nada.
No questions?
You?
Okay. So if you guys are all good, that's all I have for you this morning.
Preparation for explosion.
Preparation for explosion. I'm gonna put it into the last slide next time, which is a recap of Q4 for Q1 2021. Preparation for explosion. That's pretty cool. So thanks a lot, and we've got a work cut out for us, and very excited to see what's going to happen in the last quarter. And yeah, just going to let you guys know, especially in Singapore, you're going to brace yourself. Typically, Q4 is a winter month, so we'll see business activity going to dive down. But because of COVID-19, things have changed, so we never know what's going to happen. What we need to do is just going to be very vigilant and determined, passionate for life and passionate for work, and truly to do the best that we can. And I believe that all these goals would not be just won, but they will be wowed. So guys, I think it's going to be really amazing. So that's it, and that's the end of Q4 Town Hall.
Thank you, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, man. Okay, cool. So until next quarter, see you guys on various posts and discussions.
Okay.
All right, take care, guys.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thanks, Eric.
guys.
Okay,
Okay, bye.
thank you, Eric.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.